Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a little Saturday morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech. And today we're doing episode 26, The Messenger. Of course, a lot went on in last episode, 25 wedding bells, least of which was the marriage between Max and Miria. But of course, that marriage between a Micronian and a Zentradi was also witnessed by the Zentradi. And there are many now among their ranks that are at the very least questioning their involvement in this war, including Britai. Very interested for this one, friends, as it is called The Messenger. And from the outro in the last episode, we saw that that messenger may very well be Britai's right-hand Zentradi, Exodore. We'll see, friends. If you could do me a favor first, though, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted next time we go live with Robotech or any of our sci-fi content. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. But all that is then, and this is now. And now it's time for a little Saturday morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech, episode 26, The Messenger. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. Fanfare! Every time I see the Veritex now, I think about the incredible toys that I was given a great link to that they are coming out. And thank you very much, friend, for letting me see those, because I am hooked, invested, and will be investing very soon. Oh, excuse me. I was also promised that the animation would pick up. We'll see. Last episode was a little destabilized.
I've got something on the screen. It's an alien battleship, sir.
Prepare to fire main cannon.
I like it.
To target.
Systems are go, now moving into position.
Main cannon standing by to fire on your command, Captain.
Light them up.
A trick? Now where on earth would you get an idea like that from?
Well, that's the way it always happens in the movies.
Oh, brother.
Oh, so I suppose you have a better theory, huh?
It could be an attack, Sammy.
Message coming in. It's from the alien ship.
What?
Ooh.
On the monitor, Captain?
First time they've been hailed.
We are approaching unarmed. We request a cessation of hostilities. Please hold your fire. We are approaching unarmed.
Well, a lot of support craft.
Suddenly, without warning, the Zentradi flagship opens fire on its own fighters as if to defend the SDF-1 from the attack.
What?
Come on, have you gone mad?
Your ships were interfering with a diplomatic mission, so I disposed of them.
Oh!
I have my orders, Chiron, and I will hear no further discussion on the subject.
Ridiculous.
Hardly.
Well, technically, Britai, you don't have orders. You have orders to destroy it.
They're just sitting out there, Captain.
Is that the size comparison?
Captain Global orders a squadron of Robotech fighters to fly out, meet the Zentradi emissary, and escort his vessel back to the SDF-1.
Oh, Rick's out.
This is really weird, escorting an enemy pod ship of all things.
It sure is. And it's getting weirder all the time. Oh, brother.
It's got one of those, is that a radar or missile array on it?
Escort squadron is now down.
Every time I see the brown ones, I think of Ben.
How do these Micronians survive with such frail little bodies?
I like how they all have like the wraps on when they... It's weird to see a Zentradi.
Huh?
It's a greeting.
I am called Exodore among my people, Minister of Affairs.
Minister of Affairs.
Excuse me, Minister Exodore.
This guy's gonna have to stay put.
You men look around and see if you can find him something to eat.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna need 3 tons of popcorn, stat.
Very interesting. Huh? Oh.
They're taking him right through the city. I guess it's better than like the inner workings of the SDF-1. And here's the armory, and here's our most vital logistics.
That picture on the building over there. Would you mind explaining it to me? Most likely a military secret. Very clever. Indeed.
A military secret, right.
Oh, Claudia.
Sir?
Continue monitoring. If they take any hostile action, fire at once.
Yeah. blow him up.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
No, Claudia's ignoring you, Henry, because she's a want to do that. It's a pretty impressive briefing room.
At last we meet face to face, Captain.
Yes.
Oh, this is very refreshing.
It's called tequila.
I think we're missing some people, aren't we?
Some, but they should be arriving any minute now. In fact, this may be them.
Who's that?
Sir.
Oh, Maximiria, yeah.
I found your pairing ritual quite provocative.
Oh, you probably wondered why we did it.
Yes, just as you're probably wondering what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Reporting.
All right, Rick.
This time the circumstances are a bit different, but tell me, how did you manage to escape? Was it some secret Micronian power?
I guess so.
Sure, yeah.
That's another one of your military secrets.
Here they are now.
3 Veritechs in a trench coat.
I did not expect to see the instigators of our mass defection show up.
I didn't expect to see the traitors.
You may relax. I have no intention of harming you.
Like you could.
Captain Global, the ship's computer will record the proceedings.
I'm on my way back to Hoboken.
We would like to know more about 2 of your kind, gentlemen,
Kyle and Minmay.
and a female who's the core of your psychological assault.
Incredible.
I think he means that movie. They must have seen it and think Lynn Kyle's powers are real.
There is clearly a misunderstanding here.
Let that work.
I can't think of anyone who would be at the core of a psychological assault.
Oh, I can.
She appears to be performing some kind of ritual.
And when we hear it, our ears bleed.
Stage fright, go away. This is my big day.
Oh, for God's sakes.
La 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 la.
That might be the most disturbing thing I've seen in the show yet.
Oh, I don't believe this.
I don't either, Henry.
May's singing is a weapon of some kind.
It is.
Yes.
Oh my God. Conda and all them are going to lose their mind.
Would somebody mind explaining why it was so important for us to come here?
Don't expect any answers from them, Min-May.
They're military.
We need total cooperation from both of you.
And your bangs, Kyle. They're giving off an arrogant air.
Reading the Zentradi's mind is impossible. I wish I knew his real motive for these negotiations.
Well, keep talking to him, Henry. Something will ping for you.
All eyes are turned on the battle fortress as they follow the negotiations with nervous anticipation.
And prepare to shoot their big gun because they're complete idiots.
All personnel, maintain code B alert.
Lisa, what are you doing
Alert.
at a station?
Well, if things keep going this way, maybe we won't have to use the Grand Cannon after all.
But when will we ever get a chance to use it?
Listen, Lisa. Don't count on the Zentradi. They're completely untrustworthy.
How do you know?
Well, I can't stand around here talking all day. I have work to do.
I have cigarettes to smoke and heads to dick.
What is your military rank?
I'm a civilian.
A civilian? With your superpowers, I doubt it.
I admire your bangs.
Lynn Kyle possesses no superpowers. For that matter, none of us in this room possess the powers you're referring to.
Kyle possesses nothing of merit.
It does appear we've made a great mistake. But you cannot possibly deny the power of the female song.
Nope.
Min-May's song has incredible power.
Oh boy. I'm glad she was there to hear that.
Dulza, our commander-in-chief, does not wish to make the same mistake that our ancestors did. Therefore, he has sent me here to observe you.
Dolza has?
Once he has recovered the protoculture factory.
The main fleet, huh? Do you think that's the same as the one in your report?
Million strong.
Commander, how long do you intend?
Stonia.
So Dolza now feels a Micronian society represents a threat, does he?
Yeah.
Well then, we are doomed along with the Micronians. We need their protoculture.
Protoculture? For what?
We must have theirs because our supply is exhausted.
Really? Okay, I'm still vague on what protoculture is, but they said a protoculture factory. I wonder if that's in the SDF-1. That's what they've always needed.
Our flagship has just now informed me that the main fleet is headed for this star system.
Huh? The main fleet?
They're coming in.
Consisting of more than 4,800,000 battle-ready warships.
What?
It looks as though we have an important decision to make. Whether or not the Earth can survive such an attack.
No.
A fleet of almost 5 million? There's no way we can fight them off.
I'm not even sure our solar system can fit 5 million Zentradi ships. It's gonna get pretty crowded in the sky.
Together.
Come on, Rick.
So far, this vessel of yours has proven itself indestructible. I'm not sure how, but there must be a way to win.
Well, a great big gun.
Any member of the Emergency Defense Reserve who has not already
What are you doing, Lisa?
Our sensors are still picking up extremely high energy levels from sectors 4 through 12 of enemy-occupied space.
Yeah, I was going to say space fold.
Still trying to get an accurate measurement of its magnitude.
I don't know. How big does a space fold have to be to bring through 4.8 million ships?
Father, what's going to happen to the ship?
It'll be destroyed. We want to use it to draw their fire away from the Earth and the rest of our forces. Sort of a decoy.
Ah.
You can't.
I'm sorry, Lisa. There's no other choice.
We've decided to get all those people killed.
I want you to send me back to the battle fortress.
No, that's completely out of the question.
My place is with those whom I fought alongside for so long.
If you're willing to kill everybody else's daughters and sons, kill your own.
I cannot allow my only daughter to sacrifice her life in a foolish attempt at heroism.
It's not a foolish attempt at heroism, it's heroism, dickhead.
If you try to leave, I'll have you thrown in the brig.
Why don't you take me there yourself? Come on, Lisa, just escape.
What now, Azonia?
Well,
Azonia. What was I saying? Estonia. Azonia.
I will stay and face the fleet. It will be a great honor to go with you into battle, Commander.
Oh shit, she's with him. Hey, Chiron.
You know my answer. The odds are too great. My fighter can't win, Reactor.
As I expected, Chiron, I wasn't depending on you anyway.
Yeah, Chiron, we knew you were going to fight no matter what.
Any place else in the universe but here. Did you hear me?
But sir,
What is it?
we can't run.
You think not? Watch me.
Yeah, I mean, Chiron, that's actually a good idea. Let's get the fuck out of here, let this happen, and then maybe we'll roll back in and sweep up.
Share my thoughts, Lord Doza, and take a good look at me while you still can, for this is the final battle of Bretai.
I got chills when he said that.
If you are able to destroy their lead flagships, it will throw their whole fleet into chaos.
Oh, wow.
Of course. In short, we crushed the head of the snake.
I just got back from Hoboken.
Is to utilize the combined forces of the SDF-1 and our battle fleet.
Like I had SDF-1.
Since Dulce knows we have already been exposed to your culture, there is no option but to fight.
I'm glad that we are fighting on the same side.
Yeah, so he's going to probably kill them just so the contamination doesn't spread.
Without your singing, the alliance between our people would not have been possible.
Who, me? Really?
No, the other terrible singer at the table.
I now realize the importance of your singing. It gives you the strength and courage to face the enemy against all odds.
I do like the idea that Min May is the one that bridged the gap. Don't get me wrong, I think it's really cool, but it's Min May.
To be in love must be the sweetest feeling that a girl can feel.
Why didn't they make more songs? You all told me that she has some bangers in the original Macross, but I think you guys said that there's one called We Will Win. It's supposed to be really good, or better, I should say, comparatively. Can we get Miria of Veritech? Damn, here they come. Holy shit. 4.8 million ships. The size of a Zentradi ship.
There are too many coming through. Our sensors can't fix on all of them.
The radar is fucked, Captain.
All personnel, battle stations.
Oh boy. My God.
Sir, Monitor 3 shows the enemy's position.
Well, I'm afraid this is it.
Wow. Holy shit. We are in for a hellacious fight. That's awesome. Like the sky is darkened because of how many there are. We need a more extreme word than daunting.
A standoff which could end in disaster for all of humanity, as well as those on the SDF-1.
Woo, shit. All right, everybody, we just got done watching Robotech episode 26, The Messenger, and the only thing we have left to do is to talk about it. All right, everyone, just got done episode 26, The Messenger. Really good one. This one set up a bunch of stuff. And again, this was a walk around the galaxy. Took us around the galaxy before a major event. We touched in with, and I said, what was I saying, Estonia? I've been watching too much Encino Man. Zonia. It was the first time we've seen a Zonia in a while, other than a couple little brief kind of communiques and spots where Britai came in, said he was taking back over control, and she was, a little hesitant, like, what? And and then disappeared. So I'm glad to see her back. I'm glad to see her committed to fighting on Britai's side. Chiron, we knew, was not going to, he wants war. He wants fighting. He's not going to fight his own people. But I like the fact that he removed himself from the field. That in and of itself speaks of motives beyond just warmongering for Chiron, or he's like, let's go anywhere else in the galaxy but here. Let's everybody pull out. Let's get out of here. Let's see what's going to happen, basically. And I guess we'll sweep back in if there is any type of resolution to which side is won, or we'll creep back in with Doles. I don't know what his motives are other than just to Amscray, which is a great one. I really like the idea. Exodore has always been consistently a forward-thinking Zentradi. He has always been kind of like, talking about the ancient stories, trying to kind of put things into reference, even though he himself was confused by many of the things that were happening, like Minmay and the fact that the protoculture and mistaking the movie for actual powers that the Micronians would have. He's always been there, though, to kind of continue the thought that is beyond war, Now, tactically, Exodore is great. Came up with that fantastic attack whenever the Daedalus attack and then sneak people inside after the Daedalus closes. That was a great idea. So Exodore is, if you're going to say who's the best thinker among the Zentradi, you'd be hard pressed to find someone else other than Exodore. Chiron's tactically sound. If he hadn't been recalled so many times, he would have won a couple of those engagements. So again, Chiron can't be underestimated, but at the same time, Exodore's strength is within his ability to perceive, extrapolate information, and then try to put it into words that the Zentradi could specifically Britai, could understand and act upon. And he's done his job well. Kyle's powers were just, movie magic. It really didn't seem like that was the biggest kind of, when Exodore learned of that, he didn't think, oh, well, we have nothing to talk about. He was still really, the true power was Minmay, that power of seeming corruption that kind of snuck through the Zentradi ranks, as her singing promoted everybody to kind of look at the Micronian way of life and really kind of want it, so she definitely has the biggest power, because it wasn't Kyle's, Street Fighter power that made everybody defect, that caused such instability in the ranks. It was Minmay. And again, I give Minmay a tremendous amount of shit, because the character, she herself, she's just really hard to like. She's just hard to really kind of get behind. However, I don't hate Minmay. I don't wish like Minmay to die or something like that. I think that she's incredibly important to the story, and I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think Robotech is a lesser series without Minmay, and I think that her singing being the catalyst for potential peace, at least between a faction of the Zentradi and the SDF-1 and the Micronians, is a really cool way to do it. It's a really interesting way. It's something outside of the theater of war that understandably could promote peace. And I just think that's a really interesting way to go about it. And again, I always think about the target audience for this being, a younger North American crowd in the 80s. And I love the idea that they introduced Minmay. And I can tell you this, my older friends that watched Robotech and talked to me about it, almost universally despised Minmay. So again, I'm being flavored too by the fact that the decades past, that everybody was like, oh, I hate Minmay, but I went into it with an open mind. And again, Minmay's insufferable, but I like the character, if that makes any sense, as hypocritical as that sounds. But, again, I think that in using that, especially with the target audience being so young, it's a very different way to go about this type of show. Like I've said it before, so many of my friends and everybody, oh, the Veritex, the fighting, it's super duper cool. And then we kill Roy. Still think the fighting's cool? You do, huh? We kill Ben. And everybody goes, oh my God, maybe war isn't the best. Maybe we shouldn't fight, or we could lose somebody else. Natural progression of thought for the youth. And then you introduce Minmay, somebody that has been, reviled basically by at least the people that I talked to when I was young. She's brought in and she's able to inadvertently cause this peace, which again, as a kid, if I was presented with this and be like, Minmay, they're want to listen to Minmay, again, it causes you to think in a different way. Like, I guess maybe, it's, and then of course you make the Zentradi start to be, no pun intended, more human. Britai, the final battle of Britai. That seems very prophetic. We know Britai can kick a tremendous amount of ass, but he is horrifically outnumbered now because I think he has 1 million ships that he brought with him, and now Doles is showing up with 4.8 million. It just, those numbers are almost absurd. They're so high. Not almost, they are absurd. They're so high. So it's like, it's an incredible opponent that you're up against. But at the same time, you see these people being converted, conscripted, and joining forces basically because they want to have a similar life. They have similar ideals and goals. And it's such an interesting way to kind of bring that through. You're making two civilizations and cultures comparable through pop culture, which is a really interesting way to do it. And back in the 80s, it was a very kind of known way to do it because, at the time you had America and the Soviet Union were head to head in their own Cold War. And it was kind of the West, blue jeans and movies and music that started to kind of penetrate past into, the Soviet bloc. And people started to, they listened to all of these performers and Bon Jovi and, Bruce Springsteen, and people started going over there and performing. And that started to kind of blend in and allow for there to be at least a measure of peace to start coming through. So I really like that they used Minmay in that respect too. And it became a pop culture driven piece, which is very, very interesting. I'm really excited to see where the rest of this goes. I know that we're getting closer to the break where we leave basically Macross behind and we go on to the other two properties. But I believe we have, it's 30 some episodes. I don't like to look ahead because on Crunchyroll, that not only do they give you like a thumbnail, but they give you a blurb that says like what happens in the episode. So I actually go to the thing where you can only select one episode at a time. So I don't, scroll past it or anything. And I want to keep that as fresh as possible because I want to be surprised by these things, even though the outros usually ruin something for me. I'm going to try not to watch them, I think. So I think this is the last outro I'm going to watch. Many of you have recommended that. And I think now that I'm going to go ahead and just say, you know what, when we hit the outro, I'll let it run for Patreon. But at the same time, I'm not going to, I think I might just take out the old headphones and not listen to it at the very least. But friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted next time we go live with Saturday Morning React-TOONS featuring Robotech. And of course, if there's anything that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. But friends, all that is then and this is now. And now it's time to say goodbye from the SDF-1 and Robotech. But where should we say goodbye from? I say we go back to the observation deck that Rick spends so much time kind of sitting, contemplating, moping, whatever you want to call it. But this time when we go there and we look out, we see nothing but a sea of green, mighty vessels of the Zentradi fleet commanded by Dolza. But for the first time ever, there is a sea of green, albeit a smaller sea of green, commanded by Britai, and they're on our side. Someone's got to win, friends, and something's got to give. Until we see what that happens and when that time hits, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.